Hey, everybody! I'm so excited to see all of you. Who wants to unlock some balance? Today, I'm going to teach you guys how mompreneurs are using H.E.R.O house managers to get more time, more energy, and more focus at home and in business without sacrificing your personal well-being or missing out on those precious family moments. Who wants that? Yes! Let's do that. All right, everybody. Everybody clap your hands. So what we're going to do is, in order to clap, in order to give feedback, you can type $ in the chat. That means anytime you hear some knowledge bombs, you're like, holy cow, Brenda, that blew my brain. Type those $, put those in there. Also, my good friend Lindsay Schwartz does this really cool thing. So if you're driving or you're like doing something that you can't be in the chat, but you still want to give that kind of feedback, Lindsay Schwartz does this double tap with her hands. So if you hear any knowledge bombs, any golden nuggets that you're like, ooh, that was good, just give us a double tap. And that way it like clues everybody else in too for like what the cool things are. Oh, what did I miss? What did I miss? So drop those $, give those double taps, and we're going to go. So hi, everybody. I'm Brenda. And first, I am a total adventurer. I absolutely love doing adventures with my family, with my kids, and even by myself. My gift is that I am a household outsourcing and family systems pro. I coach entrepreneurial families to unlock more balance so they can focus on their unique zone of genius in their businesses while also having more quality time with their families. I live in Arizona with my husband, my 3 kids, 2 dogs, and 2 guinea pigs. With time to myself, I can be found unicycling, paddleboarding, playing pickleball, or some other new hobby. With my family, I love to go on near constant epic adventures, and I truly love the motto that I teach, which is live those some days today. Over the last 2 decades, I have personally outsourced over 150 household helpers. Through all of this experience, I've developed game-changing frameworks to optimize the process of finding help. I hired my first house cleaner when I was still in my early 20s in the roommate house. Like when you're back still living like with all your roommates and nobody can figure out who's supposed to actually clean out the fridge or who's supposed to scrub the toilets or anything like that. I saw the value of this back then, even when I didn't even have enough money for a full tank of gas sometimes. I was willing to pay somebody to help me clean my house even back then in my early 20s. I also started using babysitters really early on. Before my firstborn was even 1 year old. My husband with his business would have a bunch of networking events, and that meant we needed to have a babysitter often. And if I didn't have family available for that, I started asking around other families and asking for babysitter referrals very early on, and I started using them on a regular basis. In our very first house, when my husband and I were still dating, we weren't even married yet, and we got our first house, it had this beautiful pool. The pool was built in 1963, which meant that we were not great at figuring out how to keep it from turning green. So we very early on also saw the value in hiring a pool service. We used money that we could have spent going out to bars to pay for pool service. And that was worth it to us because then on the weekends, we had this lovely backyard and this lovely pool that we could spend time in and have our friends over. And so we saw the value in that very early on. And so we were like, okay, we're just going to not spend the money here so that we could have this beautiful pool that we get to enjoy. And again, this was when we were very, very young. So as you can see here, I am a bit of a rare breed. I have outsourced even when it didn't seem like I had the money to, and I found a way because I saw the value in just how much it improved my life. So after 20 years of household outsourcing, I've been through all the hires and all the learnings and figured out what makes people good and what makes people bad. Some don't even show up. Some don't follow directions. Some were really exceptional. So I started to figure out how to find more of those. What were the traits? I figured out lots of red flags and green lights. in my communications with them, and I learned how to figure out how to decode the communication so it would reveal to me what type of a worker they would be. And so when it comes to teams, I have figured out how to speak this language. So today we're going to be talking about heroes. So after decoding what makes the exceptional ones, I realized many times their full skill sets are not even fully utilized. We can empower them to do a lot more when we collaborate and have great systems in place. So here's my hero, all right? This is Cassandra. She is a magic person in our house, and she is our house manager. What? What's a house manager? What's a hero house manager? I'm going to tell you. She is such magic in our house, and it was really easy to find her and implement her into our household and into our family because I knew exactly who and what I was looking for when posting for this role. I spoke the language to attract the exact type of help I needed for this in our lives. I wanted somebody who could turn our kitchen chaos into the HGTV kitchen. Like, I just wouldn't walk in my kitchen and be greeted with this nice clean counter all the time. But I also wanted to stop having to go through the Chick-fil-A drive-thru and do takeout. I wanted to instead have those healthy meals to make sure my family's eating healthy and I'm eating healthy and I'm nourishing my body in that way. And I wanted that kind of support. I wanted where it went from the chaos and the clutter of the laundry situation to the nice, clean, organized closet. I wanted to go from the overworked, overwhelmed family situation, entrepreneur families. Oh my gosh, we hustle, we grind, we need support. I wanted to make sure that I was going to be able to make family memories with my family in the off hours when we weren't focusing on business. And in business, I just really wanted to go from overwhelmed to focused so that when I sit down to work on business, I can get straight to work and I don't have all these things hanging over my head. So if these are things that you want also, raise your hand. Who here wants to find someone who can do all these things in their household? Give me a double tap, give me some dollar signs, throw it in the chat. Who wants this? So who's this for? Are you a busy entrepreneurial family? Are you also a juggling mompreneur? Are you a world-changing family who needs someone to support you who gets your vision? My 7-year-ago self struggled in this. I felt like I was constant. My very first business that I launched, I felt like I was having to choose between business and family. I had hired my very first business coach, and I was so much on the struggle bus that she actually fired me. She was like one of the tail end sessions. She was like, you know what? I'm just going to hold your last session until you can kind of figure some stuff out because you're really struggling to implement right now. And I just don't even know how to help you with this. And the problem wasn't that I didn't have the passion and the drive in that business that I was trying to launch. The problem was I kept getting sucked back in to all these household tasks. This was before I figured out how to have the house manager helping me in this way. And I was really struggling. I was like underwater. I felt buried. Like, how many of you feel this too? You feel these words like you're like, I feel so buried. I can't come up for air. I'm struggling. As soon as this, then that will get better. I just felt like I had to choose between business or family. And I did what my friend Lindsay Schwartz calls the cute quit. Where it's like, oh, this is just not a good season for this. I'm just going to put this on pause for a little while until things get a little bit better. Well, what does the until turn into? The until turns into like 5 years of until, and we never truly get things managed unless we start taking different action towards those. So now that I have built my own village of support around me, I don't have to choose. I can do both. I can excel in my business while also making meaningful memories with my family. So if you are at this stage, if you feel like you're doing the cute quit, you're like, well, I got this big passion and this thing that's cold on my heart. I want to serve people in this way, but now's just not a great time for it because I got all this other stuff going on. Let's fix that for you so you can go and do those other things. So everyone needs a village. We all hear everyone say, it takes a village. But nowadays, you might not have the built-in village of support from family, friends, neighbors, which is why you absolutely need to build your own village. And there are two parts to that village. Now, if we think back to our ancestors and a lot of cultures still today, there's a lot of the village mentality. My own ancestors were pioneers. They truly came over on covered wagons, settled in the Arizona territory when it was not even a state yet, and they homesteaded here. But it wasn't just them. They came with a bunch of other families. There was truly a village. There's like a ghost town that still exists where all of them settled and they all work together. But are now seeing in our modern society the fall of these tribes, these close-knit families, and these multi-generational homes. We are connected more than we ever have been before, but at the same time, we are so disconnected than we ever have been. So let's unlock balance. And what your family really needs is how to have balance in business and life as an entrepreneurial family. Secret number 1. And secret number 2 is using the H.E.R.O method to overcome supermom syndrome and why you should not be doing it all. Secret number 3 I'm going to talk about is the not so obvious method to afford your hero, why others fail, and how you're actually going to succeed. Are you ready? Who's ready? Give me some hand taps. Say yes in the chat. Who's ready? Let's go. Oh yeah, questions. If you have any questions, throw those in the chat and we will have time to answer them today. And we'll bring them into the Q&A at the end of this presentation. All right, so secret number 1. Ready? What your family needs, how to have balance in business and life as an entrepreneurial family. So I grew up on an Arizona cattle ranch. That pioneer ancestral roots that I have, through the generations, my family has continued to ranch in Arizona since the 1800s. And so on this ranch that I grew up on here in Arizona, I saw firsthand how delegating and teamwork led to the success of the business. The ranch business, there was so many things in place to have teamwork and systems and delegation and collaboration to make that effective. Now, I'll tell you a little bit, for those of you who didn't grow up on a ranch, here's some ways that you can visualize. So we would have these roundups, and like my sisters and I would be on like gate duty. And so we're holding this gate. And then there's like a cowboy coming through and he's bringing the cattle through here. But you have to separate, when you're doing roundup, you have to separate the cows from the calves. Now these little calves, they want to stay with their cows. That's their mom. So they're like, I'm just going to follow her. But we got to do this quick little gate thing to get them to go into where it's like, okay, cows go that way, calves go this way, and you sort them all. So this is cattle sorting. All of you guys who are the rural people out there, you know about this. But there has to be somebody on one gate, somebody on a horse, somebody with a rope, somebody on this other gate, somebody doing all these things, somebody with a cattle prod. Like, okay, you keep moving this way. So there's all these people in place to make this process seamless and happen so that nobody gets hurt, so that none of the cattle get injured, so that it feels just a very natural flow. And this is all in place because ranching has been happening for ages. So people have figured out what those systems are to make it easier. There's very clear roles and there's lots of collaboration. There's lots of communication. Like somebody's like, oh, get that one. Okay, close the gate. Okay, you know. So this is what I grew up around in the ranch atmosphere. Lots of team collaboration, lots of outsourcing. We would get the neighboring cowboys from the other ranches to come and help us on Roundup, and we'd go help them up on Roundup. So everybody gathers together, and everybody speaks this language. Everybody follows these same processes. Roping. Any of you out there who know roping, you know there's like sometimes a person who does the head and some people who do the feet, and you're like teaming it up, and this person goes first, and then that person comes right in and swoops in. So that's a little bit about my background on my ranching roots. That gives you a quick little overview of that. Now, that's why the business can be so successful. But this is sometimes opposite in the home. I grew up one of 6 kids in my family. I was actually number 2. And because we're on this ranch in the middle of nowhere, there was no neighbors. And the success of the business, of the ranch, happened because of the systems and the teams. But at home, we did not actually have the support that we really needed. So this created actually a lot of dysfunction and a lot of flaws in the household. And eventually the mental demise of my own mother. This was all because of a lack of help. So if you are also feeling this in your house, you are not alone. This is so common in entrepreneurial families that you have the systems and the processes in your business and everything's a well-oiled machine. But then back at home, those things are not happening. We might have these big wins in our businesses. And we're like, yeah, we're delegating and we got teams and we got all these great things that are happening. And then we come home and we feel like a failure. We're confronted by the challenges and the obstacles. We're like, why are things so hard at home? Like, my business is amazing. Things are scaling. Things are growing. We're making money. We have milestones. We have achievements in our business. But then you come home and you feel like a failure in your own house. We walk into our bedrooms, which are supposed to be the area of our refuge, where we should be feeling recharged and energized. But instead, our environment is draining us. I call it the laundry basket graveyard. And I know this happens in a lot of households where we might be really good at throwing the wash in the washing machine and then switching it over the dryer and maybe not having to rewash it too many times if it sat there too long. And then it comes out and it goes in these laundry baskets and it just piles up in either the laundry room or in your room. And you're just confronted by this laundry basket graveyard where everyone just keeps pulling the clothes back out of the basket until it's time to wash them all over again. And it just feels so heavy. But why is this? There's a false belief that business thinking does not belong in our home. But why don't we apply that business thinking? Maybe we don't realize it's an option. Maybe it feels too stiff or corporate to apply those things in our own house. Our culture might be teaching us to handle home and business differently. Might feel too emotional and too personal to implement these things that way. Or maybe we're just too dang busy. Like, we just haven't gotten around to it. Our home feels simpler than a business. And we just don't want to manage things at our home. We just want to relax. We don't want to manage. But the beauty is, if delegation creates freedom in business, then it creates even more freedom at home. Business and home go hand in hand. You have to address both. So maybe this is obvious to some. But what's obvious isn't always easy. So it turns out that lack of delegation at home is normal. And this is something that I myself didn't even realize because I have seen the value in it for so long. But when I would go to conferences, I would go to networking events and coaching groups, I realized that so many other entrepreneurial families were falling short in this area. The thing that I thought, oh, I'm sure all the other entrepreneur families are also doing this because they do it in their business. So rinse and repeat, apply it in your house. But they weren't. And a lot of you aren't. And so I can't wait to teach you how. So what do? Do we just be better? One of my favorite videos is that one where it's like the YouTube video where the guy's like, just stop it. Just stop it. And like, is the way to fix the problem. So do we just be better? This approach that I have, this is not common among my peers, and I get that now. But that's exactly why I'm motivated to share my insights so that I can help other families to transform their own home management. So in a word, do we just stop? Do we just get better? No. If that worked, you would already be doing that. You would have already changed. Do we just wait until this big launch or until my kids are on this other schedule or until this other thing? Everyone thinks it'll resolve itself eventually. It's just a busy season right now. As soon as it's over, it'll be better. But what do we know about that? There's always going to be more of those. And you just get used to the chaos and keep piling on more. until you reach more breaking points in your marriage, in your parenting, in your schedules, in your health, in your business. So no, we're not just going to wait. If you want to start living those some days today, you need a hero house manager. You cannot do it without support, period. And the right kind of support. So secret number 2 I'm going to share with you is using the HERO method to overcome supermom syndrome, because you should not be doing it all. Now, what on earth, Brenda, is a hero house manager? Who wants to know that? Raise your hands. Who wants to know what a hero house manager is? Drop it in the chat. Me. A hero house manager is the closest thing that a mom can get to cloning herself. What? It's a personal assistant, meets a house cleaner, meets a babysitter or a nanny, meets a prep cook, meets a home organizer, meets a dog walker, etc., etc., etc. What? Whose mind is blown right now? Whose mind is blown that this even exists? Who wants to know more about this? All right, so let's discover how a hero house manager can transform your home and business life. HERO, H-E-R-O. Give me an H. Everybody type H in the chat. H stands for harmony. Harmony is about seamlessly managing household duties to prevent everyday tasks from disrupting family and business life. It's that feeling you get where you're like, I can do what I want without these other things coming at me. How does your hero create harmony? They take over daily chores and scheduling. They manage home maintenance without disrupting family or business time. They create a peaceful home environment where everything feels in place. All right, let me tell you a funny story. Before we implemented this in our own house, my husband would come home, and he used to go to his office back then, and he would come home, and when he would walk in the house, he would do like this Hansel and Gretel trail of breadcrumbs of take his shoes off, take the backpack off, put down his laptop, the whole thing, right? And it would drive me crazy because then those the backpack and the laptop, they would leave the next day, but the shoes, he would grab another pair of shoes, and the next day was another pair of shoes, and the next day. And so I just felt like, there's always shoes everywhere. So I'm like, can you please pick up your shoes? And he was like, well, he kept trying to get me to say well, why don't we just have somebody that can help out with this kind of stuff? I'm like, you want to hire somebody to pick up your shoes? And he was like, well, do you want the shoes picked up? And I was like, well, yes, but I want you to want to pick up your shoes, right? Who knows this? But what he was really giving me a valid point was do I care who picks them up? I just don't want to do it. So I just want it handled. So yeah, he was right. Let's hire somebody to pick up the shoes. So once we had our very first house manager, that was one of the number one things that I said, I want you to go around the house and find all the shoes and put the shoes where they belong. And I didn't have to pick up the shoes anymore. And then pretty soon, this one simple thing, I was moving about my house, and I just felt oh, my house is so amazing. I feel so recharged here. It's like a hotel in my own house. And I'm because there's no shoes anywhere. The shoes were put away. So next, we're going to find out the E. Get me an E. Everybody type E in the chat. E stands for empowerment. Empowerment is about leveraging the stability and organization provided by your hero to pursue personal and professional goals. They empower you, and you are also empowering them to do this for you. How does the hero empower you? They let you engage more deeply in business activities without those domestic interruptions. They allow you to pursue personal interests and hobbies with the extra time you're finally going to get back. And now you're participating in quality family activities, creating memorable experiences. And most importantly, your hero knows that it's their job to help create this for you. And they love that they get to do this for you. So let me tell you a story about somebody that we had who wasn't quite a great fit. we had somebody who was helping us out. And one of the things is we travel a lot and we're adventurers. And so every time we were about to go for a trip, I'm like, hey, can you get all the luggages down? And here's all the things I want to pack for the kids. Can you stick it in the packing cubes and help me pack? And then when we get home, I would want them to unpack all that stuff, throw it in the wash, and put the luggage back away. This was a vision that I had for our family. This person, before I had a good fit, they were like part of the way there. I hadn't completely figured out my systems yet. And they truly resented this activity. And they were like, why are you even gone so much? I don't get it. Like, why do you even travel so much? So I realized like, oh, you don't see the vision of what we're doing here. Like this thing, you don't understand how your contributions are helping us accomplish those goals. So this is something I learned in the process, is you got to attract the people who speak your language. R. Let's go to the R. Everybody type R in the chat. R is for resourcefulness. Resourcefulness highlights the house manager's ability to make smart, independent decisions that maintain efficiency and creativity in managing the household. Why does your hero need to be resourceful? They're going to come up with smart solutions. They're going to use what's already in your home to solve problems instead of you having to buy new stuff. They're going to come up with creative fixes. They can find clever ways to repair or reuse things and save you money and time. They're going to stretch the resources, making the most of every item and every budget dollar to get the most out of them. And they're going to foresee any kind of problems or opportunities and draw on resources available to solve it proactively. Most importantly, they understand that your time is the most valuable resource and is able to make those decisions and really good decisions without you. So when you have the right person, they find ways to make life run smoothly. My hero house manager, Cassandra, for instance, I was out of town. My car was here. She took it upon herself to completely clean out my car for me, detail it. Like every little nook and cranny was so clean. She refilled the snack bin for the kids. She refilled all my cups, like my Stanley cup and stuff like that. So when I was back, I came home to this amazing, like, level up of my car. It's a culture of over-delivering. When we attract the right people, this is the kind of stuff that you have on a regular basis. People who over-deliver for you. Give me an O, everybody. Type O in the chat. O is for optimization. It is the ongoing process of adapting and improving household systems to support the family's changing needs and goals. As entrepreneur families, you guys know it's always changing. So what does your hero optimize? They adjust routines, constantly tweaks daily schedules and plans to fit with your changing family and work needs. They boost efficiency. They find quicker and smarter ways to get household tasks done. My house manager does so many things better than me, and I'm like the efficiency person. They stay ahead of problems. They fix small issues before they turn into big problems and big headaches, keeping everything running smoothly. Like the stuff that you're like, yeah, I need to get to that. Yeah, I need to get to that. They're just going to handle it for you. And they're aware of the seasons. They adapt to the schedules based on the changing seasons of life and activity. All you moms out there, you know, oh my gosh, as everything gets shaken up, excuse me, everything gets so shaken up when we go from the school schedule to summer. Because school, you just drop them off, you have some time, and then you pick them up. Summer, you're like running them all over the place, camp here, trip here, like each week is different. It's a whole thing to manage. Your hero house manager knows this, and they are going to adapt and support you in both of these schedules. Or if you're traveling, or if you're home, all the different ways that you live and exist as a family, they're going to get it. And they're going to support you in all of those seasons. Can you now see how a hero is different than anything you've ever heard of before? Give me a double, put it up. Give me dollar signs. Who sees how different this is? So you might think, I think I need a house cleaner. But if you've ever cleaned for the cleaner, so the cleaner can clean, you need a house manager, a H.E.R.O house manager. If you think, I think I need a nanny. But if you wish the nanny was on board to support more of your goals in your business and not only just care for your child, you need a H.E.R.O house manager. If you think, okay, the meal situation, I'm going to solve it. I'm going to get those boxes, HelloFresh, Blue Apron, etc. But then you're like, why won't this box magically cook itself and also do the dishes and also clean out my fridge because there's a bunch of old smelly stuff in there? You need a H.E.R.O house manager. You think, I need to hire a home organizer. I am like, can't handle the clutter. But then you're like, I don't have the time and effort to give to completely overhauling everything right now. And I just wish I could have somebody that just does like little bits as needed on an ongoing basis, like cloning yourself. You need a H.E.R.O house manager. Maybe you don't have kids, but you are a four-legged child owner, like a four-legged mom. You think, okay, I need a dog walker, or I need to take my kid to doggy daycare sometimes. But then you wished that also took care of the problem of picking up the dog poop in your backyard and managing all the pet food orders and the vet appointments. So you need a H.E.R.O house manager. A H.E.R.O house manager is dynamic. All those things rolled into one person and a lot more. A H.E.R.O is adaptable to your family needs. And it adapts to your budget. Even if there isn't much of a budget. Even if you haven't really sat down to figure out your budget. Secret number 3. This is the not so obvious method to afford your H.E.R.O. And this is why others fail and how you are going to succeed. All right, so the elephant in the room. Every time I talk about this, people are like, holy cow, my mind is blown. I didn't even know this existed, but that also sounds real expensive. And they start doing the like, They start crossing their arms in front of their chest, their eyes glaze over, and they start feeling that skepticism. Is this really even possible? Yes, absolutely. Yes, it might sound expensive. And can you afford it? Do you think maybe this is only for celebrities? Do you think that you have to live in a 15,000 square foot home? Must have a mansion before I have this lifestyle. No, you do not. It is more affordable and accessible than everybody thinks. But guess what? For many, even if it was free, they still wouldn't do it. Which brings me to affordability point number 1. Now, warning, this is going to be harsh advice, but I'm going to say it. When people immediately say, I can't afford this, what it usually means is they're opting out of the conversation because they're avoiding, fearing, or doubting their ability to hand things off. And here's the thing. There's more demands on mothers and families than ever before. We're moms, but we're also mom bosses, CEOs, power women, female founders. Who are my female founders in here? A lot of you. Many of us have taken on more without reducing the load. It's kind of like, for all my Mad Men fans out there, it's like we're being the Betty Draper. But now we're also Dawn. We're like scheming marketing tactics, and we're like doing these presentations, and we're collaborating on teams in our businesses. And we are Dawn, and we're still Betty. We cannot be both. That is not sustainable. But for some reason, the traditional mom jobs are ours to keep. Here's what I've discovered. There are no mom jobs. There are just jobs. And they can be done by anyone. Who the heck is setting these expectations? That's what I want to know. Where do these expectations come from? Let's dive in. Could be our own mothers or our mother-in-laws, previous generations, what they thought, their limiting beliefs. Could be our family traditions, cultural norms where we live. Media, social media. There's a lot of pressure put on us to be a certain way. We get peer pressure from our own friends and in our community. And our self-expectations. We feel like our worth is tied to these. The so-called professionals and the books and the experts sometimes tell us this stuff. Listen, if those other people are not at your doorstep and ready to help you when you need it, then do not let them be a voice inside your head. It is time to change the rules and get help. We have to start being okay with giving jobs away. Today, burnout culture dominates. It is crazy, you guys. And I think it's because our worth has been handcuffed to what we do for others. As little girls, we've been told, "You're so helpful. You're so polite. You're such a good girl." Then we grow up to be women that do as we're told. Be so polite. Suppress our discomfort. Hold our tongue so we don't upset others. We're such good helpers. We do as we're told. We're so good. Do. Your value is not what you do. Your value is in who you are, who you already are, the impact you make when you share your gifts. Listen, nobody will remember you for your expert laundry skills or your grandmaster Tetris-style dishwasher loading skills. Like, I know you love doing it a very, very certain way, but it's okay. Let it go. Your 5-star mom Uber service managing soccer and gymnastics and orthodontist appointments. Nobody is going to remember you for being that 5-star Uber driver. That is not what your worth is tied to. Please know, your daughters, your sons, your spouses, other moms out there, they are watching. They're not watching how well you do all these jobs, but in your ability to let go and focus on what matters, to spend the times on your passions. So you might have dropped the whole good girl thing with your kids. Maybe you don't tell your own kids how good they are for holding their tongue and never asking for help. Maybe you're like, yeah, that's not going to serve my kids. I'm not going to say that stuff to them. But if you want to be free from those same struggles, show them a better way. Don't just say things. Be willing to learn. Be willing to think differently. Who you be, they become. If you've suffered from supermom syndrome, this is why you cannot and should not do it all. Being a supermom is robbing time from your family, from your business, from yourself. Letting go of jobs and putting your entrepreneurial self and family first with a H.E.R.O house manager is the way. Yes! Let's break free, guys. Who wants to break free? Yes. Most importantly, it's okay to ask a H.E.R.O for help. This is where others fail. You must address these underlying limiting beliefs or you will continue to subconsciously think it's not a good use of your money. You're going to keep saying, I can't afford it, just because you want to opt out of the conversation. So start thinking, how can I make this possible? Which brings me to affordability point 2. You got to start small and scale up. Just like in business, you don't go from solopreneur to a team of 20 overnight. Same in your household. You're not going to go from no help in your household to a staff of 10 people overnight. You layer on the help in hours and days as needed. And what if you could have a H.E.R.O come a couple times a week? When I first started, I had someone come just a couple hours a week. So tips for starting small. You get to choose how often. You can choose what they are doing and you can change your mind. You can create a schedule that works with your budget. Layer it on as you go. Just get started with it and you will see relief and see the value. Use the 80-20 rule to focus. It says if you get your 80% of the results from the 20% of the effort, so spend your time in your 20% so that you can accelerate that. But for some people, they're in their 80% a lot. The laundry is the bane of their existence. For others, planning and cooking all the meals sucks. if they could just hand off those top things that they feel the most burden from, it'll start to shift everything. And then you're freed up to really dream and you hit your stride. So maybe you start with one of these, just 3 to 4 hours of meal prep a week. Or what if you had somebody come 2 days a week and do kid pickups and drop-offs and it bought you a little bit more time? Have somebody else manage your groceries, ordering them, putting them away, making sure things are restocked. Or maybe you have somebody come and just do 4 to 5 hours of laundry, folding and putting away. Or what if you have this 2 times a month and you just have somebody come and just pick up all the pile of the donate stuff that keeps piling up and it kind of keeps making its way back into your house? Or you just have a couple hours a week for someone to come and sort and organize all your mail, like if that's the bane of your existence. Once you see and feel the impact, you'll wonder why you did not start sooner on this. And it will get easier and more natural to delegate as you go. Which brings me to affordability point number 3. Rob Peter to pay Paul. Let's talk numbers. So, say you have somebody 5 hours a week and maybe it costs $20 to $30 an hour. That'd be $100 to $150 a week. Well, let's go find it. Okay, who remembers when you're kids and the ice cream truck, you hear the ice cream truck come down the road and you're like, I have no money, wait. And you go digging through the couch cushions, you find the change so you can run out there and go buy an ice cream. As adults, we think we don't have the money for certain things, but then we want to take our kids to Disneyland. And by golly, we go find the money to go do that. We will always find a way to pay for the things that we really want to do. So if we can find it for ice cream and we can find it for Disneyland, then we can do it for other things. If you're willing to spend the money on your kids, you can spend it for them. And by giving them the family life that you and they truly deserve by having the support of a hero, you are doing that. When's the last time that you did a spending audit to see where you could find some major couch cushion money? This is a powerful exercise. And to be clear, I'm not advocating for you to go without. If your Starbucks barista knows you better than you know yourself, dang it, girl, don't give that up. But here's some cushions for you to peek under. Subscription services, streaming, magazines, apps, and cancel any that are redundant, unused, unnecessary. Talk to Flo from Progressive. Is she still around? I don't know. I've seen drops in insurance that would cover 8 weeks or more of a hero. Redirect all those Chick-fil-A drive-thrus into a week's worth of healthy meals that are already done for you. Just come home to them. And either you go to Orange Theory Fitness or you cancel it. Like none of this in between. Maybe you feel like maybe you actually want to feel like you're working out when you get more support, actually. Amazon Prime. Maybe you just need to take that dang app off your phone. Are there valuables that you might not need to own anymore? We can all think of a couple things sitting around our house that we're like, man, if I just sold that, I could get a month's worth of help in my house. What services can you cancel because your hero can actually do it? And they're going to save you that. So my cushions involved my ineffective attempts to organize. Before I found my hero house manager, I was trying to solve the household management in an ineffective way. I would go to Target and buy all these organizing bins. I'm like, this is going to solve all my organizational problems. I would get takeout way too often than I want to admit. Or you end up like never having the laundry you need because it's sitting in all the laundry basket graveyards. So you end up buying more clothes when that laundry is piling up. Or something that I was terrible at before was I would just keep like YouTubing things and going and trying to get all the supplies to do the thing myself. And it would take me half a Saturday when I could just pay somebody and it would take them like 10 minutes. So you can start small and just start. And as you get more balance and more time and more energy back, the returns in your business and family life will then allow for you to layer on more as needed. More hours or more days or more duties that your hero handles, which in turn is going to give you even more time to focus on the things that matter, which then allows for more returns, etc. So you're going to go traveling from left to right up this beautiful mountain. And so I started small, way back in the day. I was like, okay, I'm just going to put half a tank of gas so I can give some money to this thing I see value in. But the return on that was great because I was able to accomplish a lot more in my career and in my business at the time, which then those returns I could keep putting back into it. So now I might be on the far right side of this level. I have my house manager. I have a personal chef who actually collaborates with my house manager. So I don't even have to be involved in that process. They're handling all of it for me. So I might be on the far right side of this. You might be on the left side. You might be in the middle. So you can figure out what's going to work for you. Here's the thing. The growth isn't just about the level of support in your house. A common concern people have is, yeah, but I don't want to hand this off because then my kids won't learn responsibility. I don't want to raise entitled kids. But what we don't realize is when we build our own village of support, we turn strangers into our family. They truly are our village. And they also teach our kids. Here's my hero, Cassandra. You saw her earlier. She just this week completed her very first half marathon. My kids were celebrating her. They wanted to go get her flowers. They wanted to congratulate her. She is truly a family member to us. So they were celebrating her. That night after she left, I'm tucking my son into bed. Don't worry, he has pants on in this picture. And he goes, look, Mom. And he had found this lanyard with this little clip. And he said, look, Mom, I have a medal like Cassandra too. They are role models for our kids, just like we are. We are not raising entitled kids. We are raising empowered kids. When you overcome the affordability factor, you get to start living those some days today. Can I get a tap tap? Whose mind is blown right now? Who's like, what? Holy cow. Wait a second. Whew. All right. I have a few more things to cover. But first, who got value here today? Who got value so far? Tap, tap, $. Who's getting so much value from this? Who's like, what in the world? This is a whole other thing I didn't even know existed. All right. Here's what we covered. We talked about, number one, what your family really needs, how to have balance in business and life as an entrepreneurial family. We talked about using the H.E.R.O method to overcome supermom syndrome and why you should not be doing it all. And we talked about the not so obvious method to afford your hero, why others fail and how you are now going to succeed. Who here wants a hero in their life? Raise your hand. Who wants one? It's like Oprah, and you get a hero, and you get a hero, and you get a hero. So, type hero if you want a hero. Now you have two choices. And I really want to set you up for success here. So number one, you can go this alone and try to figure this out without any help. Or you can get it right the first time by learning from someone that already figured it out and has done it successfully. And if you chose number two, that's a very smart decision, and here's why. I would like to introduce something really special to you guys today. It is called the H.E.R.O House Manager Launchpad. The H.E.R.O House Manager Launchpad is a program that quickly solves the household piece of the puzzle for you by helping you find and install your hero so that you can go further, faster in your business and start living with more balance at home right away. What's included? Well, here's what you get. Everything you need to succeed. Think of this as your giant shortcut. Remember, you can learn this all on your own through repeated trial and error and try to navigate this new territory without a guide, or just take the fastest path to success. So here's what you get. Inside the H.E.R.O House Manager Launchpad, there are a couple key things you'll get. I'm going to dive into those. Number one, first, you will get the ready to customize household operations and organization binder. And here's what that is. It includes custom, it's a custom household binder to fit your life perfectly with organized tabs for every aspect of your home management needs. Streamlined routines with checklists and templates for daily tasks. This includes your hero's duties for seamless collaboration. Who wishes they had this, but they don't want to have to create it themselves? I'll give it to you. Number two, you get Timecraft, your guide to designing your moments. What does that include? It's a clear roadmap for how you will spend your time, Create those boundaries around your ideal schedule and have intentional time blocks for business and family. Most importantly, you'll have a guide to start living those some days today. Number 3, I'm going to give you the magnetic attraction system for finding the right hero. What does that include? This is all about attracting the hero that is right for your family culture. You want them to speak your language. You want them to see how they're contributing while repelling the ones that are not a good fit. Good fit is crucial. You want somebody that understands not only your needs, but your entrepreneurial lifestyle. Not anybody that judges you for whatever your chaos is. They're going to support you with it. Number 4, what I'm going to include is a 4-step recruiting process. This includes simple steps to follow that results in plenty of good candidates. And this is even if your market is super saturated with lots of people applying, and also if you're worried that it might be hard to find a good candidate in your area. If you're like, yes, this sounds amazing, Brenda, but I don't think anybody exists in my area. They are everywhere, and I'm going to give you the tools to help you find them. So you're not going to have to wonder if support is really going to help you, your business, or your family. You're not going to have to worry about attracting low-quality candidates that don't understand their mission. You're not going to have to worry about overpaying for a candidate that really isn't solving your issues in contributing. And you're not going to have to waste your time churning through lots of heroes because they didn't work out. But what it will do is it's going to design a plan for how you're going to benefit from this support. It's going to attract plenty of candidates that fit your style and your budget and easily find the right one for you. It's going to help you hire, onboard, and get your time, energy, and focus back. What? I'm just giving you this, you guys. I'm doing the work for you. So a recap. Here's a quick recap. This is what the H.E.R.O House Manager Launchpad includes. Ready to customize household operations and organizational binder. Timecraft, guide to designing your moments. The magnetic attraction system for finding the right hero. My 4-step recruiting system. This is a total value of $10,000. And this is what you're going to get. You'll get the H.E.R.O House Manager Launchpad program that includes each of these things I just told you about. $10,000 of value, guys. Well, what about how to find and recruit a house manager? Well, that's why I'm including my house manager recruitment magic dust. Let's break it down. Hiring questions to make interviewing easy and revealing. It's the same questions that I use to hire H.E.R.O house managers and figure out who's a good fit. It gets them to reveal key answers that help you understand who they are and what, not just what they can do. Like I told you, I've learned how to decode people. And I can give you my top 10 hiring red flags. Over-the-shoulder posting and candidate reviews. This is the second thing that you're going to get. This is so cool because you're going to get to watch over my shoulder as we post job ads. And you're going to see where to post and where all the good heroes are hanging out. We'll review candidates together. We're going to pick them apart and find the right ones, design the right follow-up questions to dig deeper. And then you're also going to get my recruitment magic dust. This is number 3. This is the H.E.R.O House Manager Mad Lib style job posting template. This is like one of my favorite things that I made. This couldn't be easier. This is often the place that trips people up. They're like, I don't even know what to put in my ad. I will help you. I made a really cool way to do this. Creating your job ad with a fun fill-in-the-blanks approach that brings out the needs and attracts your right hero. They're more likely to see this posting because it will grab their attention. And it gets the right kind of applicants excited to apply. We'll fine-tune the ad's language and spark interest so that it's your family's mission. We will also throw in how to and how much to pay your H.E.R.O house manager. And you're going to learn the latest ways to make transactions smooth for your H.E.R.O house manager, understand the right amount to pay for your H.E.R.O house manager. You'll learn when to offer extra perks and benefits that matter, and learn how to strike the right balance between wage quality and fitting your needs and your budget. Number 5, you're going to get background checks for success and safety. This is often overlooked. It is simple but important, and I'm going to help you. You got to implement those checks, give you more confidence, navigate the must-dos. I will walk you through this. Discover the tools for quick and thorough checks. Learn the key red flags in their history that you can look for. I speak this language. Here's more magic dust you're going to get. Hiring questions, over-the-shoulder posting and candidate reviews, H.E.R.O house manager Mad Lib style. and how to pay your Hero House Manager, background checks for success and safety. That's a value of $2,000, you guys. And that's on top of the Hero House Manager Launchpad, which includes everything you need to get going on the Hero House Manager journey, including House Manager Recruitment Magic Dust, total value of $12,000. So what about once the hero is hired? You're like, okay, cool, this sounds great. But what about once they're there? That's right, I got your back. I'm going to give you instant household organization and chaos busting magic dust. And that's where things get really exciting, because you'll have everything you need in this. I'm going to give you those Hero House Manager daily checklists to hand out right there. Boop. You're going to start each day. Your hero is going to just come in and know what the clear goals are, set routines, top priorities for your house. They're going to take off each task as they complete these. You're going to adjust this as needed. What worked well, what needs to change. And you're going to celebrate the wins. You're going to recognize when your house is running like a well-oiled machine. Yes, this is amazing. Next, when it comes to working with your hero, you're going to get my one-on-one review and coaching sheet. You'll be able to chat to get to the bottom of things with your hero as you grow. You're going to work together to set goals and make both of you proud. Catch up often. You're going to high five for the wins. I will help you. I have all of these things I've been using. Just copy my work. You don't even have to go figure this out. I'm just going to give you all the cheat codes. Number 3, the Ritz experience, setting expectations for your hero. This is all about infusing the Ritz experience into your own home with a hero who knows the value of paying attention to the little things, telling your hero exactly how you like things done, down to the perfect pillow fluff. And you're going to outline the daily indulgences that you appreciate, that make your life easier, getting your hero to think ahead and want to surprise you with that extra bit of sparkle, like how mine cleaned my car for me. Let's get you that. Number 4, magic dust number 4. We're going to feed forward, giving your hero timely feedback. I'm going to just give you all of this. You're going to know how to do this. You don't have to figure it out. It's going to help you share feedback right away to help you and your hero better with each task. Talk about what's next. Not just what happened, but keep improving. Regularly check in and encourage good habits and nip issues in the bud. Acknowledge the good stuff. I'm going to teach you how to be this great at an employer. Instant household organization magic dust. You're going to get the Hero House Manager daily checklist, one-on-one review, coaching sheet. We're doing a recap here. The Ritz experience. Feed forward. And what you're going to get. And that's on top of the Hero House Manager Launchpad, which is going to get you started on that house manager journey. The Hero House Manager Recruitment Magic Dust, which will help you attract the right hero. The Instant Household Organization Magic Dust, that's everything that your hero needs to get started. That's a total value of $17,000, you guys. But I really want you to understand. All right, so this is what you're maybe thinking. I really want to understand the cost, budget, and how to make this happen now. This is where I'm going to give you an easy way to figure it out for yourselves. I'm going to give you an affordability matrix so you know exactly how you can start small and scale up. How to start with a mini hero and tackle key chores within your budget and prioritize the tasks that give you the best bang for your buck. And then how to increase your hero's hours and responsibilities as your budget allows. This is a total value of $500. And that's on top of the Hero House Manager Launchpad, which is going to get you started. The Hero House Manager Recruitment Magic Dust, which is going to help you attract the right hero. The Instant Household Organization Magic Dust, that's everything your hero needs to start working with you. And that affordability matrix. Did I tell you that was a total value of $17,500? What? You are also going to get access to a private chat channel and community. You'll get to ask questions 24/7 and get help from other people in the community too. Get a second pair of eyes on what you're working with. Get help with your sales process, marketing. Grab an accountability partner. Get emotional support when you feel frustrated. And that's on top of the Hero House Manager Launchpad, the House Manager Recruitment Magic Dust, the Instant Household Organization, the Affordability Matrix, private chat channel and community. And this is where other kick-ass modern moms just like you are going to be hanging out. Total value, $18,500, you guys. But you might be thinking, wait, I need more help. I got you. You're also going to get 5 weeks of live accelerator sessions, live coaching sessions. I'm so excited about this, you guys, because You know, like energy is my jam, and I'm just going to infuse you with energy. I am going to motivate you, encourage you. I'm going to answer all the questions that you have. Let's work together to get a hero into your life with these weekly live coaching and Q&A calls with me. You're going to get the personal attention and be inspired by the other community members too. If you can't make it to some of these, that's okay. They're going to be recorded for you. And you will also be able to submit any questions in advance to make sure I answer them on the calls so that when you watch those recorded episodes, you'll see your question answered right in there. And that's on top of Hero House Manager Launchpad, the House Manager Recruitment Magic Dust, the Instant Household Organization Magic Dust, that Affordability Matrix, the private chat channel and community, and this bonus 5-week live coaching sessions with me. I cannot wait to work with you directly. This is going to be so fun. It's a total value of $21,500. Is it cool if I add a few more goodies? Drop some dollar signs if you guys want some more goodies. I just want to give. I just want to help you guys, man. Your goals are my goals. I'm going to give you this bonus. I'm going to throw in there my family prep chef blueprint. This is what we use for our personal chef in our own household. It's my complete operating system for weekly meal prep, including the job posts, hiring process, and interview prompts for that also. Establishing your preference, your dietary needs, your goals. Weekly meal prep routine. You can give some of this to your Hero House Manager, or if you want a separate personal chef like we have, you already are set up for that. This is a total value of $1,000. And that's on top of the Hero House Manager Launchpad, the House Manager Recruitment Magic Dust, the Affordability Matrix, the Instant Household Organization, private chat channel and community, my 5 weeks live coaching sessions with me. Yes, I'm so excited to work with you. And then that bonus, the Family Prep Chef Blueprint. You're getting that. It's a total value of $22,500, you guys. How about another bonus? Who wants another bonus? Drop some dollar signs. I've also partnered with some of my very, very, very good friends who are world-class mindset coaches. They have top dollar programs, and they, just for you guys, are going to be doing some mindset training, some bonus modules to identify and eliminate limiting beliefs that are holding you back. My friends Melissa Taylor and Liz Benny, everybody give them a shout out. How cool is this that they're doing this for us? They're going to help you eliminate negative thinking and cycles of self-sabotage so that you can sustain this and be very successful in this. They're going to help you create confidence in your ability to follow through on your clear vision and goals and finally put into action all the knowledge you've collected because that fear is gone. Total value of $1,000. And that's on top of the Hero House Manager Launchpad, the House Manager Recruitment Magic Dust, the Instant Household Organization Magic Dust, the Affordability Matrix, the private chat channel, and 5 weeks of coaching from me, and these bonuses. Total value of $23,500. But, Brenda, what about my spouse or my family? Well, bonus! I'm going to invite them too. They get to come and learn. You get training and support for your whole family. You guys will get access to the recorded training member for all the live coaching calls. So you can include your family members. So they come along and they're learning alongside you. Build a common language and understanding in this new reality so you can work together on this. Go faster when you do it this way. They get to come along for free. And what you're going to get, that's on top of Hero House Manager Launchpad, the House Manager Recruitment Magic Dust, the Instant Household Organization Magic Dust, the Affordability Matrix, the private chat channel with other moms and entrepreneur families, and 5 weeks of Brenda time. Live coaching from me, plus these bonuses. Mindset Mission Workshops, Family Prep Chef Blueprint, and your family gets to come and learn too. How cool is this? Total value of $23,500. But guess what? I know I could easily charge $1,000 to $20,000 for this. If all it did was help you feel at ease, knowing your household chaos is managed, letting you shake off doubts about not doing enough for your home, business, or family. What if all it did was organize your time and your home, free you up for family and business, and show your kids the importance of balance? What if all it did was establish a solid routine that boosts your confidence in making decisions and enhancing your home? And what if all it did was take time off when you needed it to achieve that work-life balance that you've always wanted, and feeling free from the guilt of it? And what if it lessened your daily overwhelm, truly, truly lessened your overwhelm, and teaches your family that it's okay to ask for help? You can see why this is a good deal at even $10,000 or $20,000, but this is priced at only $4,997 for the general public. But because I wanted to make it even more of a no-brainer, you guys right now on this webinar can get started for today for only 3 payments of $697 just to get started. Or you could save $100 if you want to do a one-time payment, $1,997. And you get the H.E.R.O House Manager Launchpad program. Here's a website. You can go and check it out, kickassmothermom.com/start. Let me share some stories. All right, so while you guys are considering, let me tell you about Melody. Melody came to me, and she has a house full of teenagers, and they travel a lot. They're an entrepreneur family. They are like set on changing the world. They want to do mission trips, help people in other countries, while also speaking on stages and traveling, and their kids are in all these sports. She wanted somebody that could support them in all of this and truly fit that family culture. So we worked with Melody to truly attract somebody that spoke that language. They see the value of those mission trips. They see the value of what her and her family are doing in the entrepreneurial space. Their speaking engagements, they're traveling. And they also are helping her at home. So when she wants to host people at her house and have gatherings, it's all just handled for her. Her house manager just like makes little baskets and things for when guests stay at the house, and goes and gets all the groceries and has everything stocked and has the house ready so that they just have to show up and hang out with their guests. And then when the gatherings are over, the H.E.R.O house manager comes right in and just gets it all back in place all over again. Here's some of the other amazing people that I've gotten to share my gifts with. So many people. I get so lit up inside seeing people have more balance in their households. It truly, truly, it just feels best. So I'm on a mission here to meaningfully enhance the motherhood experience, the entrepreneurial family experience for my generation and future generations. So you have 2 choices. First, do nothing. Don't take this leap of faith, which is 100% risk-free, or you can make this small investment today compared to the huge value you'll get in return. And just give it a go. Remember, you have me on your team. There's a website. You can check it out. Speaking of risk-free, how does 2 guarantees sound? First, I'm going to give you a 30-day money-back guarantee. And we also guarantee support. So if you go into this program 30 days in, you're just like, this is not what I expected, you can ask me. You say, Brenda, this isn't for me, and I will give you a refund. Also, you're not going to get left behind. I guarantee support. I am there for you. Your wins are my wins, and I want you to succeed. It's not like one of those programs where you're just on your own and you never get access to anybody. I am there with you. You got me. So you can get the H.E.R.O House Manager Launchpad today. kickassmothermom.com/start. And remember, it's okay to take shortcuts. It's okay. In school, we're told, oh, you can't cheat. No. In adult life, cheat. Please take all the work I've already done. I'm just a mompreneur, just like you guys. But I've figured out a lot of this stuff, and I want to help you to just shortcut right to the success. I don't want you to have to trudge through it. You got cool stuff to do in your businesses. You got cool stuff to do with your families. You don't have time to go figuring this all out for 7 years like I did. And remember, who we be, they become. When you see the value in this, it really shows your kids that you value them. We're going to make heroes normal. When my husband, I'm going to tell you a quick story. When my husband was new in his digital marketing agency, I remember he would go to these local networking meetings, and he was starting to use offshore help. He was using like offshore VAs. And this was when it was still like taboo and icky and I don't know, like he would go to these networking meetings and people were like, how could you? What is this? And it really propelled him forward in his business to be able to layer on more pieces of his team and really accomplish his business goals. So I cannot wait, you guys. Right now, I think we're in that stage of like people talking about having a house manager. It's that like, what is this? Like, what is, like, it might feel icky, or it might feel new, or it might feel like, oh, I don't know, this is not really something people are doing yet. But I cannot wait to be what the current version of VAs is, right? Like now, people in their businesses, it's like, I'm struggling in this. And everybody's like, get a VA. Why don't you have a VA? Here's mine. Here's mine. Here's mine. Everybody's sharing VAs. There are all these offshore people. We know just how much hiring offshore people blesses our lives and really, really blesses their lives. We can see now how the global economy has improved, over like the last 10, 15, 20 years because of employing all these people around the world. The education that these people have available in their countries now, like the infrastructure, all these things that have happened because people like my husband started taking a chance on hiring offshore help. Well, that's the same with H.E.R.O house managers. Take a chance on hiring this help because I cannot wait for by the time all of our kids are grown, that this is the no-brainer thing. That whenever people are like, I'm struggling in my household, then they're like, why don't you have a house manager? Why don't you have a H.E.R.O house manager? This is my blood, sweat, and tears, you guys. My life's work and an agent of change for moms around the globe. I seriously, like, my mission is so big. I really want to change the world with this. So which are you? We all know about scarcity mindset and abundance mindset. And the point is, jumping into the H.E.R.O house manager launchpad is truly an abundant choice. Don't go it alone. I have a friend who is asking me like, but Brenda, I get it. Like, I want to hire somebody, but why do I hire you to help me hire somebody? And I asked her, well, you see the value of this in your house, right? And she said, yes. And I said, do you feel like this is something that you've been needing for quite some time now? And she said, oh, yes, definitely. Like, I could have used this a while ago. And I said, okay, then how come you haven't hired one yet? That's what the H.E.R.O house manager launchpad is all about. You know you've been needing this help. And you think like you're going to figure it out. But you haven't yet. And chances are, if you don't take action, you probably still won't take action on this. So let's shortcut you. Let's like just go, okay, cool. Brenda, I need your help. Great. Now we get this handled for you. Unlocking balance requires both types of villagers, as I mentioned earlier. It's the support staff for the delegation and the automation. It's these H.E.R.O house managers, but it is also your peers, your mentors, your coaches cheering you on in the process. I will be that other villager for you as you implement this other villager. We will be on this village together. And you will truly get to live your some days today. So head on over to the website. Go check it out. kickassmothermom.com/start. Let's recap what's included. That H.E.R.O house manager launchpad, which includes the operations binder, the timecraft, magnetic attraction system, 4-step recruiting process. It also gets you that magic dust, house manager recruitment magic dust, instant household organization magic dust, affordability matrix, the private chat channel and community. You are going to love this community. Bonus 5 weeks coaching with me. I'm going to be right there with you live. You can ask me questions. Another bonus, my family prep chef blueprint. We're going to throw that in there for you. Mindset mission workshops with some of my friends who are some of the top mindset coaches in the world, you guys. And you're going to be able to invite your family to all these trainings and coaching sessions. They can watch that mindset coaching to get over hurdles with you. Total value, $23,500. You're going to get a lot of value. So much value. But I'm not charging that. And I'm also not charging you what this costs for the general public. I'm not charging you the $4,997. You get this for this special rate because you're on my webinar today. And it's 3 payments of only $697 to get started. Or if you want to do a one-time payment, it'll save you $100. You'll get that for $1,997. So you can go to kickassmothermom.com/start and you can get the H.E.R.O house manager launchpad. Now, I'm going to drink some water so I can get rid of this phlegm. And you guys start putting all your questions in the chat and we're going to do a little Q&A. Also, who got value? who just learned so much? Like, whose mind is blown right now? Every time I talk to people about this, every time I go on master classes or podcasts or whatever, everybody's like, hold the phone. Wait a second. This exists? This is possible? It is possible. You guys, let's do it. This is so great. All right. I'm going to let you guys type those Q&As in there for a minute and drink some water.
All right, guys, let's give it up for Brenda. Mike here.
All right. I got my handsome hubby, Mike, over here running the chat.
I'm going to go ahead and ask a couple questions here. So one of the questions that came in from Andrea was, what's the average fee for someone, a H.E.R.O house manager, to start?
That is a super good question and a very common question that I get. And I'm going to tell you, that is totally what you're going to find out inside the program. I'll give you a little snippet is, this will depend on your area, and I will help you to figure out what that is for your area, so that you can know what to budget around this. And so once you're in the program, we can really figure out like, okay, where do you live? What neighborhood are you in? All the different dynamics that are going to affect that. But yeah, it's definitely so much more affordable than everybody thinks. As you saw, I used to just have somebody coming. I would spend like $20 to $30 an hour or $100 a week. So depending on your area, this could be so super accessible for you. Couch, cushion, money, you guys. What are the questions we got?
All right. So Dr. Courtney is asking, or is kind of commenting here that she says, I know I need this and have an abundance mentality, but my husband is scarcity. So getting on the same page is hard. So any advice for that?
Yes. This is another common question where one person is like gas and other person is brakes, right? Which is exactly why I have it available for your whole family to join in on this. So they're going to be able to see the value in all the things that you're getting. They're going to be included in this process. And that's why we got that mindset coaching coming in at you. I love coaching on mindset, but I brought in my high-powered friends to do a little bit of this mindset work also, because it can truly change like just how much you can see the value in this and how giving to this, the returns that you could be seeing other places. And so it's like not a cost, it's an investment in something that you could totally see a lot of returns in.
Could you talk a little bit about how starting small might be a good spot to start if somebody's hesitant or is maybe on the more scarcity side?
Yes. Okay. So let me tell you a story. One of the first ways that I layered something on was, you guys, the laundry. The laundry has been the bane of my existence through these years of figuring this out. Oh, I could easily give it away. Like who here just tricks themselves into thinking they like doing the laundry just because you have to do it? So you're like, well, I might as well like it. So I'd like put on Mrs. Maisel and I'd be watching Mrs. Maisel while like folding. I'm like, it's Zen, it's meditation. But truly, I would have rather just been kayaking or hiking or doing something that was like more cup filling than folding laundry. So I was like, okay, this is something that I really, really got to give away because this is like killing me inside to do all this laundry. So I had somebody that would come and it took them an hour and a half. And the reason it took them so little time, you're like, wait, how could they do all laundry in an hour and a half? So I would wash it, I would throw it in the dryer, and then the laundry basket graveyards, right? So it's just like piles of clean laundry. And that was the part where I struggled with, was actually putting it away. And so I had somebody come and actually just fold it and put it away for me. And it would take them an hour to an hour and a half a week. And you're like, there's no way that takes that. Oh, yes, it does. When somebody else is in their zone of genius doing this for you, they are so speedy and fast at it. Because us, as the parent, as the mom, we go to put away the laundry and then we go to put away, oh, that doesn't go there. Okay, that needs to go here. Oh, wait, that reminds me. I need to register for the next session of soccer. Oh, yeah, and this other thing and this other thing. And then it's like an all day long Saturday process to put away laundry when somebody else could be doing this for you in like 1 hour, 1.5 hours per week. So that was one of the ways that I very, very first layered it on was, okay, I just need somebody to do my laundry. And then from there, it grew to like, oh, you know what? I'd actually like them to wash and dry the clothes and do the whole laundry process. And we all know while the machine is running, they can be doing other stuff. And so then that's how it turned into 5 hours a week. I had somebody come a couple times a week, a total of 5 hours. So like 2 hours here, 2 hours there, maybe another hour on a third day, 5 hours. And that created a huge shift in my household with just 5 hours because they were doing laundry. They were prepping food. They were like making overnight oats and boiled eggs and chopping up onions and chopping up potatoes and prepping all this stuff. So much got done in those 5 hours a week. It felt like somebody was there for 40 hours because they're in their zone of genius and they're really getting it done and they're focused on the work instead of our squirrel brain trying to do this and that all at the same time. So you don't even realize you can really, truly start small and see a huge ripple effect in this. All right, next question.
So Joe mentioned that she has someone coming in twice a month, and thanks to you, Brenda, that she's got this H.E.R.O that's coming in twice a week now. Now, it mentions it's affordable, but if somebody's considering bringing in a H.E.R.O house manager, and they've got a lot of things that they want help with, sometimes it could feel overwhelming to like figure out what the thing is to start with. So, any advice on where to narrow down and how to pick the right stuff?
Yes, this is another great question because sometimes we start, you start small and you're like, okay, I got somebody coming once a month, twice a month. Okay, I want them to start coming more often. I want them to come once a week, or I want them to do those 5 hours a week. And just knowing like, what am I even going to have them do? I know I need help, but I don't even know where to start. And that's where I have these bonuses that I have in here, this magic dust. I have actual printables that you can work through and figure this all out. I can walk you through it also so we can figure out what are those things. Because it's like there's some stuff you might want to keep. Some stuff you truly might enjoy. Like if you love cooking, then you can keep cooking. But maybe you want somebody to chop the onions for you ahead of time. Or like peel the garlic. You know how it like gets all stuck? So maybe you want somebody to do that stuff. So then when you go to do the cooking, you get to do the enjoyable process. And so just we can figure this out in the program. These are all the bonuses that are included in there. Is really figuring out all those pieces of the puzzle. So you're like, I'm overwhelmed. I don't even know where to start. Cool. I got you. I got all these pieces of the puzzle that are going to tell you exactly where to start and exactly how to layer on next and next and next. So it's just done for you. Like you don't have to feel like you're the one that having to figure this all out.
So can someone really find someone that's willing to start small? I know that's a concern that we had initially, that we have a lot of hours to give or the budget there. And it definitely makes sense for full-time or part-time work that you could probably find someone. But like those people who are wanting to come for just a small number of hours per week out there?
Absolutely. Our first house manager was actually doing this for other households also. So she would come and do our house for like 1 day a week. And then she was also doing this in other households for the other days of the week. So just like now, how there's the Uber drivers and the Instacart delivery people and the people who can pick up all this work and have their flexible schedules. This is the new age, you guys. This is like what the modern day looks like. It's no longer like you go work this corporate job and work your way up the ladder and stay there forever. Now, people can get really meaningful work where they're contributing to families and feeling how much they're valued and seeing like the ripple effect of what they're doing. And they can even serve multiple families at once. And so they might be in your house for part-time and another family. And that's the cool thing is like, once you're part of this program and you start meeting people in your area, you might actually learn about people who already are finding these kind of people and do like that share, just like in your own, like when you go to play baby group, right? And you're asking, who knows a good babysitter, right? So this is going to become a thing that everyone is like, ooh, I know this great H.E.R.O house manager. We used to live in this city and we moved and blah, blah, right? So this is the beauty of it, is that there truly are these people who want to serve in all areas, no matter where you live. They have these skill sets. They totally can help you in this way. And yeah, and it's like, there's going to be people who want a lot and who want a little, depending on how many families they're serving. And we'll find you those people.
Awesome, Brenda. So kind of last question here. So for those of that are on the fence and considering jumping in, but just haven't done it yet, what would you say to them?
You know, I'm gonna go rogue here. I'm gonna go rogue, Mike, and I'm gonna say, I wanna reward the people who take fast action. The people who sign up for this today, you are also gonna get Voxer access to me, so that way you have me to keep asking these questions to in between those calls. I'm going rogue. Mike doesn't even know about this. But I just truly want to help you guys. And so for anybody who signs up today, the day of this live webinar, I'm going to let you have Voxer access to me also. So it truly is like the closest you're going to get to like a one-on-one coaching with me through this program. So if you're considering it, Don't delay, because you're going to miss out on that. All right, so let's see. Anybody else have any other questions in the chat? What do you guys think of that? I was like, you're like, wait a second. I want to talk to Brenda all the time. Hear this voice, this like energized person cheering me on a regular basis. Now your wheels are turning. All right. So, okay, here's a story I wanted to tell you guys, but I was like, oh my gosh, there's going to be too many slides. So, but now we have time. So I'm going to tell you this story is another common question that I get around that whole idea of like, yeah, but I want my kids to learn responsibility and I don't want to raise the entitled kids and stuff like that. Well, you already saw just how great of a role model my H.E.R.O house manager is for my kids. But this is what I want you to think about is if you had the built-in village that you needed, if you had your own mother or your mother-in-law or your sister who was coming to your house on a regular basis and helping you prep, cook, they were helping you fold laundry and put it away, and they're helping you like wipe the counters and do all these things, right? Like how some families do still have that. A lot of them don't. So if there was one of your family members coming to help you in this way, you would absolutely be welcoming them in. You'd be like, yes, please come more often. And then they're also going to be teaching your kids while they do this kind of thing. And so people then somehow think that whenever they're going to bring in a stranger or an outsider, that like, that's not okay. That like the kids can't see that person doing it and helping in that way. But you got to think about it is like, this person is just like if your mother-in-law was there helping you. And sometimes it's actually better because family sometimes just doesn't think the way we think or do the things the way we do, or they maybe like you're trying to tell them, oh, actually in our house we do it this way. And then they feel like, oh, well then I guess I did it wrong whenever I raised you, right? Like it was a mom that does that kind of stuff. And so when you bring in a H.E.R.O house manager who's maybe a college kid or fresh out of college, like this young person, they're bridging the gap between you and your kids. So they say things to your kids to teach them and it just lands better. Your kids receive it better. Sometimes they like are more eager to help them and collaborate with them. And so you truly have this environment of household collaboration instead of it just being like the mom, dad nagging the kids do this stuff, or like the wife nagging her husband or whatever that is. And so sometimes it's actually better to bring in this person who's like, yes, I want to serve you in this way. Like, how can I help more? Because they're not the family member that might feel like, you don't appreciate me, whatever, right? Like, this person knows you appreciate them. You like reached out and said, I need your help. I value your skills. And then they come in. And so then your kids learn from them. My house manager does a lot of things way better than me. She organizes so much better than me. And I actually like organizing. I just don't have time to do it all the time. Same with my personal chef. I like cooking. I just don't want to have to do it all the time and keep feeding all the people in my house. Like I want to just do the fun recipes for the holidays, which is what I get to do now. So the regular stuff is handled, and then I get to do the fun stuff. And my house manager does the regular stuff, and then I get to go and have fun adventures with my kids. And so I am truly an adventurer at heart. Everything I'm doing in my own house is just so that I can go gallivant around the country and around town more with my kids. Go to museums, go to parks, go launch rockets in the park. I'm going kayaking tomorrow for my birthday, everybody. It's my birthday tomorrow. I'm going kayaking with my kids, with my family. Sunday, we're having a gathering. We're doing all these things because we don't need to be stressed out on the weekends. We get our weekends back to spend that time together as a family. And we're truly living our some days today. A lot of you have seen on my social posts all the crazy things I'm always doing. I was just in New Zealand for a trip. And then right before that, we were in White Sands, New Mexico, sledding down sand dunes. And then right before that, my husband had his business conference that the whole family was helping out with and getting that ready. And we get to do all these cool things. We get to live the way we want to live because we have the support that we need to feel balanced, to feel free and energized. So if there's any other questions, all right. If you guys come up with any more questions, reach out to me. I'm happy to answer any more questions that you have. I cannot wait to see you guys inside the launch pad. This is going to be game-changing for your households, and it's going to transform your life majorly. And I can't wait to give that to you. I get so excited about this. So, everybody, thank you so much for being on today. Remember, go to kickassmodernmom.com/start to see all the details. A lot of your questions might be answered on there. If you didn't get a chance to catch the very beginning of this, there will be a replay for a few days. Or if you had to duck out and come back in, you'll be able to catch the rest of it. You can go back in and catch what you missed. So you'll be getting the information on that email too. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you learned a lot. I enjoyed this. I enjoyed teaching you guys. I nerd out on this stuff. So high five, everybody. Go enjoy your Friday and go enjoy your weekend. Go live your some days today.